Bueno, les contamos a quienes están aún aquí en el piso principal que en un momento iniciaremos una sesión informativa sobre la diplomatura en educación STEM, dictada en asocio entre el Portal Educativo de las Américas y la Universidad Pontificia Bolivariana. Estaremos ubicados en el bar. El bar se encuentra en el
Okay, we're ready, Luis, when you are.
All right, so I'll give you control of the presentation then.
Alison, you're muted.
Alison, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, lots of technical difficulties here. I had to mute the YouTube. All right, I think I've got it figured out. There's lots of extra noise in my background. I am hearing a lot of people speaking and I'm trying to figure out how to shut it off because I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to go from this slide. Luis, would you mind? Yeah, let me go ahead and I'll do the introductions then because we're running a bit behind.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, okay. And you can keep the slide up so you don't have to turn it over. Okay, great. So welcome everyone. This is our first session today. We're gonna be, I wanna make sure that you all know that the interpretation is available for you at the bottom of your screen. You'll just press the interpretation key and choose your language. Okay, so welcome to the ITEN Virtual Seminar 2020. This webinar session is with our team, the Teacher Engagement, Advocacy, Mentorship, and Sustainability teams. And for those of you who are new to ITEN, we want to be sure to let you know that let's just go ahead and get started. Presenters, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves since we are already a bit behind. And since you're well prepared, we're going to just let you go ahead and take over the floor. Luis, any moment that you'd like to stop sharing, that's fine. And we'll go ahead and let our team share their screen and get going.
Okay, we are ready. Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you to everyone who have joined us today from different parts of the world. Welcome to TEAMS. TEAMS stands for Teacher Engagement, Advocacy, Mentorship, and Sustainability. Let's learn more about TEAMS through the following video.
Months ago, a group of education professionals came together to address issues in STEM teacher education across the Americas, starting in their home countries, Jamaica, the United States, Antigua Barbuda, and Suriname. They referred to their group as TEAMS, or Teachers for Engagement, Advocacy, Mentorship, and Sustainability. Continue listening for perspectives from TEAMS members.
The partnership that is apparent and needed in the online blended learning space cannot be overemphasized. Educators near and far are cognizant of the importance to work together, forging lasting connections that will propel creativity and discovery. The OAS OAS-ITEN project has done just that in connecting like-minded educators to stretch across the chasm of divide and to make blended online learning possible. The changing landscape of our educational system has enabled all team members to truly blend pedagogical content knowledge to enhance our teaching experience and our students' lives.
And motivated me to apply for the teacher leadership role. This gives me the opportunity to empower and guide primary school teachers within the interior. It also enables me to work collaboratively with different departments of the Ministry of Education to further bridge the gap between schools in the capital and the interior of Suriname. Thank you, ITEN OAS.
Together as a team, we were able to recognize and develop common student vision to foster STEM skills and competencies in developing the next generation of global students. This student vision emphasized on hands-on learning, creative problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication skills to address authentic real-world problems. This has helped me recognize the needs of different types of learners and grow as a school leader to support my team, students, and families during virtual learning.
I am Bhagya Malladi, Immaculate Conception High School, Kingston, Jamaica, Master Teacher in Integrated Science. Why am I here today? Well, you will see very soon. Yes, let's screen STEAM in action. There you go. Come on. Though we are after locked up at home due to COVID-19, we can still motivate our students, inspire them, okay? And we can help them to learn, to improve their 21st century skills, to activities at home. Look at that chemistry, chromatographic chemistry at home, with cost-effective resources, the dancing candle. Wow! So pretty, so many concepts to learn from that experiment. The sun at home, imagine, locked up, but the sun is still shining. And see the creativity of my students. Cost-effective resources. They make the models at home and then they come online and see that, look at that. So fantastic, cost-effective resources, came in action, stream in action. What else do we need? Go learn. Yes, my students are doing so well, even though we are not locked up at home. Look at that. And you can hear them in the background, enjoying stream in action. I hope you enjoyed this small presentation, and I'm sure we will continue. Thank you so much.
Education system is emphasizing the significance of continuous professional development for the teachers throughout their career. The collaboration through OAS is an effort to create another platform for the teachers, especially the master teachers, to share their best practices and engage in meaningful activities to empower the teachers across the island, to enhance pedagogical practices in the emerging changes in the teaching and learning environment.
Informed decision-making must be influenced by the realities of the teaching and learning environment, as both teachers and students engage in meaningful learning, experimenting with strategies to enhance the learning environment. Policymakers must coordinate the collection and the analysis of data, designing policies and the ratification thereof, so that these best practices can be supported. This ensures that the necessary resources will be so allocated so that the identified goals and the proposed objectives can be realized.
Our partnership through OAS-ITEN project teams has helped to create a collaborative and fostering environment with a supportive ecosystem to develop the next generation of STEAM innovators. But how do we sustain such a partnership? We hope to sustain by cultivating and nurturing champion representatives within each of the partnering countries who are willing to invest their time in the partnership. We hope to sustain by communicating successes and effective practices broadly with all key stakeholders in our respective educational systems so they understand the value of this partnership. And finally, sustainability goes hand in hand with scalability and replicability, which will be another big focus for our team. So you heard a lot of great things, hopefully, in that video, but there were so many important words that were actually mentioned and phrases, everything to do with pedagogy. And there is so many important people in this audience. And what we'd like to hear from you before we start is, in your opinion, what are some of the effective pedagogical practices that you employ for engaging students at any level? You could be a teacher in a high school or an elementary school or a policymaker or somebody at a higher education institution. Please help us learn more about pedagogical practices. Marsha?
Please place your responses in the chat. Thank you. Come on, we can do it. I haven't seen any yet.
So any phrases that come to your mind? Pedagogical.
So small groups, Socratic seminar, use of games, Socratic questioning.
Great.
Science writing, critical thinking, collaboration.
Peer teaching, great.
Simulations.
Wow.
Breakout rooms in Zoom.
Wow.
Disciplinary literary emphasis.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Project-based learning.
Fantastic, thank you. Having academic conversations, very important. So that collaboration piece, communication piece, critical thinking, creativity, you guys brought everything, the 21st century skills. So what we are going to do is to go through each of the countries in this partnership and help them explain why, how we are working together and on a common theme. So to take you with us through this journey, I'm going to have you go with me to a country that enjoys 365 beaches. But I'm going to ask you to guess the country as I play this video. And you may type your responses as you see it.
Dr. Padu, right off the bat, we have Antigua. We have a lot of Jamaica, Antigua, Jamaica, Antigua.
Everyone is guessing Jamaica and Antigua.
We have a lot of Antigua.
The competition.
Bahamas.
Thank you. So
Bahamas.
I wish somebody said
Jamaica.
I wish somebody said the United States, but that's okay. So, but thank
Belize.
you. Belize, great. So yes, to help us understand about Antigua and Barbuda, I invite CeNaSu from the Ministry of Education. Stacey.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure being here. My name is Stacey Payne-Mascall, the Assistant Director of Education with responsibility of planning, training, research, and educational service in a nation comprising of two very small islands found in surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. The islands are Antigua and Barbuda, both totaling 170 square miles, Antigua only 108 square miles, and Barbuda 62 square miles. We boast of having 365 white sandy beaches, one for every day of the year. Tourism is the lifeblood of my nation, as we have been blessed with the radiance and tranquility of nature, sun, sea, and sand, and not forgetting our very hospitable people, numbering less than 100,000. But as any other country, to be self-sustainable, we have got to build resilience in our education system. Hence, as we develop policies and implement programs, it is essential that we are successful in realizing our goals, which are based on broader goals as established not only nationally, but regionally and internationally. Therefore, more and more we understand that we have got to break down barriers and collaborate more beyond our shores. We have to go in search of needed technical support and resources if we are going to be successful in the realization of the United Nations Sustainability Goal number 4. According to Time 4.1, it states, by 2030, we must ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary, secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. Now, I want you to join me in an activity. So I want you to help me to illustrate to you what is the motivation of my newly found friends, and colleagues. Why have we come together? You can do this by looking at the next 3 slides and typing in the chat what you notice or wonder. So can we get that slide? So here we have, next slide, Dr. Padu. What do you notice or wonder? So you could type in the chat, what you notice or wonder about what you're seeing on the screen as it relates to education or pedagogy.
The words or phrases that come to your mind.
Yes.
Sad.
I'm getting sad. I'm getting the children's needs are met. Students are inquisitive.
Oh, we
Equity,
saw some words.
Determination, assisted
Equality.
technology, equity,
Very nice.
aims, equitable learning, equity versus equality, determined, giving learners different opportunities, collaboration.
Great.
Okay.
Excellent. And so we'll move on to the next slide. And again, I want to ask you, what do you notice or wonder?
Teamwork.
Different needs met. Okay, great.
Inclusive.
Different perspectives, diversity.
Diversity.
Great.
Could we get the next slide?
Variety skill.
Sure.
Next slide.
Yes. And what do you notice about this? Notice about this picture?
Varying perspectives, content, unreasonable expectations, differentiation, one size fits all, standardized testing may not be the best, multiple intelligence, authority and opportunity, discrimination, no equity, barriers to demonstrate understanding, never judge the book by its cover. It's coming, it's coming.
Very good.
Excellent, excellent. And so as we move to the next slide, which concludes As anticipated, most of you would have answered correctly. We came together to find solutions to improve the quality of instructions, to remedy the low performance in mathematics we are experiencing in Antigua Barbuda, as every learner learns differently due to preferences or abilities. We are here to learn how we can better create equity through the distribution of scarce resources to schools in the interior in Suriname. We are also passionate about sharing the many strides that would have been made in Jamaica and Fairfax County and George Mason University, both in the US. Finally, we identify ourselves as advocates for the importance of continuous professional development and informed policy creation. So as we continue to unveil more about this incredible group of educators, meet Abhilasha, English language learner, teacher, and department chair at Fairfax County Public School in the USA. But one question, can you guess which state Fairfax County is in?
Can you type which state you think Fairfax County Public Schools are in the United States? Immediately.
Oh,
that's a great.
That's great.
That's very quick.
Yes.
Virginia. Lynn, Virginia.
I'm excited to be here and share some background information about myself and other information about our team's vision. I'm an ESOL, English language learner teacher at Fairfax County Public Schools in the state of Virginia. Fairfax County, also known as FCPS, is one of the 12 largest school systems in the nation, serving over 188,000 students through 222 elementary, middle, and high schools. The fun fact about FCPS school bus service, it is the second largest fleet of bus services after Greyhound, having 1,800 buses to the fleet. Let me take you through the team's common student. A group which has the need for developing the next generation of global citizens was possible when they were able to build the opportunity and hands-on learning to foster STEM skills. This generation needs the chance to explore their learning and address real-world problem solving by being creative problem solvers, critical thinkers, collaborators, and communicators. In the United States, a lot of school districts, including FCPS, have initiated the student vision district-wide as a focal on graduates. And likewise, our team came up with a common vision, which we realized was equally important in all of our different countries and diverse populations that we have been serving. Likewise, our team came up with a common teacher vision, which we thought was equally important so as to accomplish the student vision. As you can see, the teacher vision also focuses on similar skills as that of student vision. Having a common teacher vision would involve collaboration and communication amongst the interdisciplinary teams, focusing on the stream approach. This would not only provide a platform for sharing effective pedagogical practices, but also nurturing all students to become lifelong learners. Let us go through the journey of various challenges faced by other countries in project teams. Did you know the smallest South American country? This is one of the two countries in South America with left-side driving and the only nation outside Europe with Dutch as a language of the majority. As we continue our journey, meet Cindy, who would walk us through exploring these fun facts about her country.
Okay, before we go on to the next slide, she posed a question. The smallest country outside of Europe that actually speaks Dutch. I know that there is lots of people in the audience. Go ahead and type on the chat before I reveal it. Which country is she talking about? Hey, there you go. Oh, Curaçao. Okay, speaks Dutch also. Okay. Suriname. Okay, lots of Suriname answers. Okay, here is Cindy.
Bamboo, so many reveal. Bamboo, Dobu, 1973. Translation, 1 tree, so many leaves. 1 tree. Suriname is part of the Caribbean and part of South America. All of us came from different continents but managed to become one. During big festivities, we celebrate as one. What does our diversity mean for our country's educational system? The natives and the Maroon population are living in tribes within the interior of Suriname, the largest area of the country. Tribes live far apart from one another, which makes it challenging to invest in educational changes in this area. Because of the cost that this creates for the budget of the country, there is a gap between the capital and the interior. In November 2019, I got my Master's of Science in Education Sciences to learn and to innovate. I am a pre-university history teacher and grateful for the collaboration of the ITEN OAS project team, which gives me a chance to contribute towards bridging the gap between the capital and the interior. In Mungo, the OAS Teacher Leadership Plan aims to train teachers for special education and their colleagues to identify vulnerable pupils at an early age to provide them with better opportunities. The plan will empower primary teachers to test the water concerning ICT in education, which will enable them to redefine their perspectives on this matter, which will impact their skills of creativity. There is this notion among teachers in the interior that ICT both is a substitution and an argumentation for traditional education. The lack of broadband, unstable internet connectivity, and the high cost of connectivity are limitations which have further strengthened the notion to make the two concepts very unpopular in introducing ICT in education. Modification and redefinition will strike a balance in keeping the 21st century skills in mind within the present educational system. The fusion of technological content with pedagogical content and content knowledge of the teachers is a step forward in continuing to bridge the gap between the capital and the interior in Suriname. Let's hear next from Dr. Thomas of the Ministry of Education from Jamaica.
I'm going to present again from this point, okay?
Is JTC, Jamaica Teaching Council, and its mission is to cause the teaching profession to continuously strive for excellence in raising aspirations and achievements that lead to beneficial educational outcome for all learners. It has the mandate that support to regulate the teaching profession, build and maintain competencies, raise the public status of teachers and profession, inform policy direction for the teaching profession. Some of the major activities accomplished by the JTC are developed a national professional standard document for teachers, also developed appraisal instrument for the teachers, principals, and vice principals, institutes several recognition avenues for the outstanding performers in the profession. Master teacher unit housed in JTC, which is selecting exceptionally good classroom practitioners and recognize them as master teachers. In collaboration with the private sector entity to conduct a selection process for the prestigious Teacher and the Principal of the Year award annually. Master Teacher Unities also serve as the Ministry of Education Youth and Information Contact Unit for OAS to plan and implement various teacher development initiatives. It also partnered with the international entities to provide development opportunities for the educators in Jamaica. The project teams is the manifestation of the perfect collaboration of educators from Antigua and Barbuda, George Mason University, Virginia, USA, Jamaica, and Suriname, with the guidance from the OAS STEM experts. The vision of the project is a training-based approach to empowering the teachers to plan, deliver, and assess the lessons, adopting the STEM techniques. It also has the flexibility to accommodate the blended teaching, which is highly recommended during the COVID-19 pandemic. This project is designed considering the challenges and the needs of the teachers in the partnering countries to improve their pedagogical skills for the desired outcome.
My name is Marsha Russell, an integrated science teacher and an OAS-ITEN project member. And the question I will ask you is, what does mentorship and advocacy look like to you? Mentoring should provide support and guidance to a new teaching expectation and mostly socialization into the education system. Mentoring, according to John Crosby, is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Mentorship is a relationship based upon encouragement, constructive comments, openness, mutual trust, respect, and a willingness to learn and share. Teams desires to use the principles of mentorship and advocacy to build a sustainable platform of strategic collaboration, empowering teachers to explore, to try new pedagogical tools, improving their pedagogical content knowledge, thus transforming their knowledge of their subject area to a meaningful and engaging lesson that solidifies their STEM approach in their respective subject areas. Blended learning, also known as hybrid learning, is a method of teaching that integrates technology and digital media with traditional instructor-led classroom activities, giving students more flexibility to customize their learning experience. Online and in-person learning is complementary, creating a truly integrated learning environment. The power of blended learning methods lies in their ability to improve the student's experience. Tips to remember in blended learning: less lecture, less contact hours, no replication of old ways, dialoguing and collaboration, and most importantly, global connectivity and building a community. All these features found in our TEAS project, from discovery right to the celebration of success, I thank you and look forward to a wonderful afternoon.
So many great pedagogical practices shared. Let's move on.
Good evening, everyone. Let us continue with our presentation. When we meet the needs of an inclusive classroom, we are certain, regardless of the abilities, that every learner can learn. The infusion of STEM in lesson planning tends to develop the students' inquiring minds, logical reasoning, and collaborative skills. The first step is to specifically define the learners to select the best strategies to meet the objectives of the lesson. Following the shared model, the lesson objectives must be measurable and articulated from the learner's perspectives at the psychomotor level, cognitive level, and at the affective level. Planning lessons following the universal design principles provide the learners with multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression. The principles provide the what, why, and how of learning, which in turn develop the lower order thinking skills and the higher order thinking skills. So what is the big picture? The big picture is the students will apply their knowledge to solve real world problems, develop positive interpersonal skills in order to foster working relationships. Even now, during the pandemic, let us all continue to make teams work to develop learning materials for an inclusive classroom, which will cater to different learning styles, foster conceptual understanding, and critical thinking skills in our students. Let us enhance the teaching learning experience in various ways, because here at OAS, teams stream. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So I hope you are listening to that word stream again and again. So we'll reflect on that at the end. By now, you heard from a project administrator who helped to bring the teams together, enthusiastic stream educators, including masters, teachers, and teacher coaches, important policy implementers from the ministries, and I'm fortunate to join this elite group as a lead member from a public institution of education that provides opportunities to both teachers as they develop professionally and students as they become change makers for the society. My name is Seshaiyer, and I'm a professor at the largest public institution in Virginia, USA, George Mason University. Along with my academic role, I also serve in administration in the capacity of an associate dean to create innovative curricular initiatives and community-based engagement programs. This team's effort has helped me to work with diverse out-of-the-box thinkers to create an infrastructure to improve equity in stream learning opportunities, to empower students to become active participants in a quantitative world, to encourage students to see themselves as knowers and doers of stream, to identify stream pathways that support future success, and to collaborate with stakeholders at multiple levels to advance stream education. But how do we get there? It all starts with a context. This can be from a local or a global real-world challenge. From that, we develop a curriculum map that incorporates skills, values, and knowledge and creates a profile of a graduate. From there, we develop a content that is integrated, which is where stream comes in. However, we also need to combine that with good instructional approaches, such as the 5E instructional design. And finally, this helps to build the 21st century lifelong learning skills that includes communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And we can do this through engaging students, for example, in out-of-the-classroom experiential learning, discovery-based, inquiry-based approach, and building prototypes through learning by doing, for example, and several other pedagogical approaches. So our sustainability model for this project includes starting with building resources, materials, training activities that we already have been working on successfully in each of the countries, and identifying those through user surveys, and then implementing through virtual webinars along with post-assessments and reflections. The hope is to impact many teachers, many students, and develop several types of stream resources and ultimately be able to share best practices between the 4 countries and the rest of the globe. We do this in multiple phases with short-term goals to inquire and discover, mid-term goals to design and develop, and long-term goals to implement and sustain. It's been a great learning experience for me to be a part of this collaboration. Thank you to the OAS-ITEN organization for helping make this happen. Welcome to Teams. So I hope by now you've learned something about our project. Okay, so the project teams, which again stands for Teacher, Engagement, Advocacy, Mentorship, and Sustainability. And we have been already doing the following, as well as we have some more work to do. So specifically, we have been trying to create integrated lesson plans, trying to implement teacher leadership plan, another big program from the OAS. And we are trying to share best practices in STREAM, as you heard that word repeatedly: science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, mathematics, and developing websites. So, and conducting evidence-based research and coordinating ITEN team seed grants. So let me explain. So creating lesson plans as in integrating lesson plans between the countries. So imagine how we can share best practices in how we each create lesson plans and we give feedback to each other, working together between countries. We want to actually interact with each other's portfolios. For example, we actually have 3 teachers in the group who have been selected for the OAS-ITEN teacher leadership program, and so we are able to interact and share best practices through that program. We are able to share best practices with students in the classroom, outside the classroom, through STREAM: science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And our goal, and we have already started putting a website together, which will share a lot of resources, and including classroom resources for teachers across the globe, opportunities, and so on. And finally, conducting evidence-based research, as well as we were fortunate to work together, and we were able to obtain ITEN teams seed grants, which we hope to implement in the coming months. And of course, thank you to the entire team, especially Allison and Rebecca, so for helping us really come together and realize this whole Teams project. So let me now stop share, and we have probably about less than 10 minutes, and this would be a great time to ask us any questions, or if you want to share something, a feedback. And I believe we will also request you to complete a short survey. It'll take you less than a minute to do. This will really help us if we want to be in contact and again learn from you, as well as if you want us to share something, which one of my colleagues will post on the chat. In the meanwhile, feel free to ask us some questions or so there is a question: in Suriname, how must we bring STEAM to the classroom? That's a great question. So Suriname, ICT, how do we bring ICT and STEAM in the classroom? Cindy, you want to, are you able to answer?
Yes, Dr. Padu, I already replied in the chat. There are many options, and in my teacher leadership plan, I focus in Mungu on working with offline programs to help implement ICT in education. But also you can use ICT for teachers to gain more knowledge, to be more effective in their classroom. there are many, but this person can stay in contact with me and I can give more options if they want to have more answers.
So it's very important to use technology to enhance the learning rather than just technology as a tool to teach. Okay, so how do you integrate that T with the every other subject, the science, the reading, the mathematics, the arts, and so that's the most important thing. So how do you actually bring all those areas and have technology reinforce the learning in all these other subjects? So that's a great question. Any other questions?
Just to comment on what we're on in terms of the ICT, because many times persons think of only the high-tech technology. I think Bhagya would have done an excellent job in her presentation by showing how using things around the home, using low-end technology can really bring out the content area that you're trying to demonstrate. So technology can be used either way, either the high-end or the low-end technology.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that's a very good point, Stacey. In terms of, when we think of technology, it's not just a computer or a mobile device or a software or on a website. It could be something how you effectively use to teach. I think that's also about technology. Anyone else? Any other questions that you have for us? Any feedback that you have for us? There is a comment. I'm and it's in Spanish, I'm guessing. So, Alison,
I can translate it for you quickly. So it says, in rural areas where there's no internet or where internet doesn't exist, what strategies would you recommend?
That's right. Okay, I just tried to. That's great. I'm glad I understood the Spanish. So Bhagya, you showed us a lot of. So Jamaica, one of your themes is to actually bear access to resources. Or Dr. Thomas, Marsha.
Yes, I would like to answer that question.
Yes.
Actually, really, frankly speaking, to where there's no internet, you can still continue with stream activities, and especially where you can request newspapers, the newspaper companies, if they could print material and it could reach out to the students. You could ask your schools to print some material, and you could have drop boxes where you could drop off the work and the students pick up the work and again drop it off there. Or you could even go to malls where there's free Wi-Fi. You could download apps there. You could download work for your children. So there are a number of ways you could do it. And then now in Jamaica, what we are doing is we are using in the communities, in some of the communities where there is no internet, they are using the walls, the fences, walls, everything. They're painting them and they're using them as blackboards, and they're putting up work. The teachers are going around putting up work for the children, and the children come out, copy the work, do the work. So we are using a lot of other methods. Apart from that, I can tell you your kitchen, your front lawn, your back kitchen garden, all these are open labs for us. So we can use all these. In fact, what I do is I use more cost-effective resources available around in the house. Instead of asking the children to go and do something. So I try and use materials which are not very expensive and which are easily available to them at all times. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that response. Marsha, you want to chime in?
Yes, I was just going to add to what Bhagya said, that one thing that is certain about Jamaica is that we have more churches per square capita. And what a lot of churches have done now is set up Wi-Fi at their church, because even in my community, a Wi-Fi center is set up at the Church of God of Prophecy, and the students in the community actually go there, download their work, then go back home. In some other communities, as Bhagya said, they paint blackboards and they have times for drop off and pick up. And most importantly, the ministry is also using the television, because everybody has television. So there is different times when different activities and different subject areas are posted, and this also helps for the areas where they don't have internet.
Fantastic, fantastic. I think that's really nice responses, and I'm seeing also the responses on the chat. And television, radio, and somebody asked how are they. In fact, Chantal, I see that you're from Suriname. It's because all these projects help to build local capacity. And so those local capacity help us to actually promote, all these projects. So it's very important to build local capacity. That's one of the things that we want to build out of these projects. So, and I saw a question on mathematics, which happens to be my favorite topic. And it turns, somebody said about technology sometimes discourages children. So that's exactly right. So mathematics need not be taught in a very traditional way. So if you can actually make it meaningful to them, and so I think it makes it much more interesting. And in moving just beyond traditional approaches to actually doing things like learning by doing, having objects to count, or think about food, and think about how many calories, and think about face masks, and think about a cost of the face mask, and do math with it. So, connect to real world context. I think it becomes very powerful. So making that mathematics that you're teaching meaningful, it makes it really, really powerful. And I am looking at some more questions. And if, so there's
we've got to cut it off, Padu.
Yeah,
we've only got 2 minutes. You've got to finish now.
Okay, 2 minutes. So why don't we, if you can help us, that's great. Please feel free to send this survey so we have your contact, and we'd love to reach out to you. You will have an opportunity to write in the comment if you want us to get back to you, or if you want to learn more about how we are going to be implementing certain things, feel free to get in touch. Thanks, Lane. I saw your comment also there, sir. Thank you. And we got 1 more minute, and there is a long comment in Spanish. COVID, is that to do with?
Don't worry, we'll be able to get you answers to more of those questions later.
We'll be happy to respond to those things also. Thank you, Alison, for this opportunity on behalf of our team.
Thank you from Teams.
And
yes, thank you all. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, OAS and ITEN.
Excellent presentation, everyone. Thank you so much from these 4 amazing institutions. We're super grateful to have your expertise here with us today. For the rest of you and those of you as participants who are listening, this will conclude this